Hey guys, welcome back to Livin Our Vision. Today, Michelle and I are going down to the Alcatraz Cruise. We have tickets for the Alcatraz Cruise. Yay! Parking is the big deal here. I'm doing some research for you on this and for ourselves, of course, too. Parking is extremely expensive, at least to us. We think it is. Typically $40 a day, sometimes $60. Some places are like $3.50 per 15 minutes. Get what I'm saying? It's expensive. I did some research, and from where we are located, Uber has went up $1.02 in the last 30 minutes. So now they are, for one way, if you take a pool, $17.48, otherwise $28.51. There is a place called Pier 27, Lot 81. That is located right next to Pier 33, where the Alcatraz Cruise is located. We've been down here. That's a very short walk. And the only caveat to this is you cannot park at Pier 27, Lot 81 if it's a day of a cruise ship for passenger cruises. Not for Alcatraz, it's a different cruise. They have a schedule that you can look at online. What you do is you look at their dates here and find your date and make sure that your date is not on here, because this is a list of the dates that they do have cruises going out. If your date's not on there, you're golden. So it's $15 for the first 2 hours. Alcatraz, you gotta allow at least 3 hours. So Monday through Friday, it's a $20 flat rate. And the weekends, it's a $25 flat rate. They're open from 6 a.m. to 10:59 p.m. $20 is half the cost of other parking garages, and the other parking garages aren't even this close to Pier 33. I'm going to call them, and I'm going to be sure there's nothing to worry about with parking there, because you do have to be careful parking in the San Francisco area. There's a lot of car break-ins. We just went to Target the other day. We came out, looked across the parking lot, and there was an SUV. It just had its window busted out since we had went in and came back out. We'll do some research on this and let you know. Till then, let's take a cruise. Ready to go?
Yes.
Here we go. Can you believe it's kind of a dreary day today, but we got a spot right here in front of the Pacific Ocean. Let's keep going. Ready?
Yeah, you have to lock it.
We gotta lock it. Okay, so here we are at Pier 27. We'll see how this works out. Pier 27, Lot 81.
Arrive at Pier 27, parking lot 81.
And as you can see, it's pretty empty. This is what the person was telling me that a lot of people don't know about. They don't realize that they can park here. So as you can see, this parking lot's pretty much empty. You go anywhere else in town, and it's going to be hard to even find a spot. Like the guy was telling me on the phone, a lot of people don't know about this parking lot. They don't think you can park here. Here's your little place to get your ticket. We want option number 2, $20. Hit your OK button. Make your payment. Processing the card. Printing receipt. All right. Unlike some places where you have to put a lot number, a lot of your parking spots will have lot numbers and you have to put that number in. Here, you just print your receipt and put it on the dash. There you go, $20 instead of $40, and you're good all day. Our tour starts at 11 a.m. and it takes approximately 3 hours. You can stay as long as you want, and you can take any of the ferries coming back. You just got to make sure you take at least the last ferry coming back, or you're stuck on the rock. That's it. Place it up on your dash and you're good to go. We just saved 20 bucks. That's enough to get Michelle some pie.
Or ice cream,
yeah.
Or, well, it's kind of cool for ice cream, but
yeah.
Something sweet.
All right, you ready to go see the rock?
I am.
Let's go see the rock. It is 9:40 a.m. We made some good time. So you have to be there 30 minutes prior. Get in line is what they want, because they said that they leave right on time. Now this parking in Pier 29 and a half, don't be fooled by that. That's for the early bird parking only, which means you have to be in by 8 a.m. in order to park in this garage. But first, breakfast at the Alcatraz Cafe. Okay, so we've made it to the tour area. One thing to keep in mind, if you get your tickets in advance, they'll send you a text and an email. And if you click on the link on that text, it'll give you something that looks like this. And there is a QR code. All you have to do is go directly to the line to line up for your cruise. There'll be a departure time on there. There is no need to go to the ticket counter or the will call. You do not need to print a ticket as long as you have this QR code. So if you have that QR code, just bypass this area and go directly straight ahead is where you line up. See all the people lined up? This is where we had breakfast. If you come early, you can go into the cafe. Now boarding, 11 a.m. for those that have service animals. And there is your return boat schedule. Be sure you come back before the last ferry leaves, or you'll be stuck on the rock.
We're here in about 2 minutes. Welcome
Here
aboard.
we go.
The Alcatraz Clipper.
Their mark is all over this island, and they are a crucial part of its history.
We just arrived on the island, and this is the beginning of our tour. We're going to start at building 64. Off the boat here, and we are starting right here at the guardhouse in Sallyport. Sallyport? Are they talking about you again, Sally? I just came out of the theater area. We watched one video online about Alcatraz, somebody doing a tour. They said, you gotta see it in person. It's about like anything. That you can watch all you want on TV. Nothing's like being in person. Just seeing the architecture and knowing the history of this place and being here is just amazing. Let's go see some more. $1866. Capone, where you at? Oh, he's a number. What's with that? Any given time, there was approximately 75 families of workers who worked here at the penitentiary. Didn't they go to school here, or did they transport to school?
Well, in the 50s, they would ferry them across to go to school in San Francisco. This was also a schoolhouse in the early 1900s up to 1933. And then after that, it was the residence apartments and stuff.
Another apartment house. It says on the sign that, like any small town, Alcatraz has its less desirable places to live as well.
This building down here that's destroyed, basically, it was destroyed by fire in 1970, I think it was. Used to be the Officers Club.
The Officers Club, huh? Here we go. Here's the start of the whole cell house. Crazy to think of some of the people that used to be here. Al Capone, Whitey Thompson.
Whitey Lucky.
Whitey lefty. Looking at some of this fence kind of tells you how old this is. Well, here it is, the cell house. And here we go. So when we came in downstairs, that's where they checked in. Then they come upstairs here. They come over and they get their clothing and their towels. Then they come over here, and this is where they have to shower. Wow, look how tiny that sink is.
This is all they got.
Wow.
The first thing you want to learn when you hit Alcatraz is keep your mouth shut, walk with your back to the wall.
This area is what they used to call Broadway.
Decision to make, whether to obey the rules or not, to do good time or bad time. That decision affected their lives dramatically.
An inmate is given housing, good food, medical attention, and all the necessities of life.
Everything else was a privilege. Time to exercise outside, getting books and mail, all had to be earned. One of their favorite privileges was the recreation yard.
D-block, a prison within a prison. This was what they called the treatment unit.
Now, turn back to the cells. Walk over to the cells on the far right with solid green doors. This was solitary confinement, the whole, cells 9 through 14.
When the cell was occupied, the regulations required that the light be on.
But we kept the lights off when they were in there. They were in the dark.
You may enter one of the cells if you wish.
So the D-block area, they spent 24 hours in their cell. That's why they called it the prison within the prison. Al Capone was in this area. He was in one of these cells, not the solitary confinement, which are the green doors. But he was in this area.
This was the prison library.
You put your request on a library card. If the book was available, they'd bring it and put it in the bars for you.
Prisoners with reading privileges could subscribe to approved magazines.
And if it had some story about some convict out of Nebraska or something, that was cut out. Never mind that you might have been reading a serial and it was on the back of one of them pages.
Prisoners who behaved could also take correspondence courses.
Took a course from the University of Pennsylvania on animal husbandry. The gestation period for a pig is 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days.
You're now on CD Street.
C and D block. They call it CD Street, or C and D.
Look for a large photo panel along the left wall. Stop when you get there. In May of 1946, an inmate named Bernie Coy, along with 5 accomplices, decided they would escape to freedom.
Alcatraz was built to keep every inmate directly under a gun.
This next area, the prisoners called Peek-In Place. It's the visitation area.
When they'd written me that letter and said, you know, you're dead, don't ever come back, we've told your sister you're dead, the whole bit. You know, I'd been there for 7.5 years. The guard came up and racked my door open and said, Quillen? And I said, yeah. Or said 586, and I said, yeah. You got a visitor. And I told him, I said, you're full of crap. He said, you got a damn visitor. Go down to the visiting office.
Approach the visitor's windows.
I thought, hell, I'll see some good-looking chick at least, if nothing else, you know. And I walked up there, and here's this good-looking girl.
I was nervous, didn't know what to expect.
I knew who she was when I got a real good look at her, and when she said Jimmy, which was what she always called me, so I knew it was my sis.
Once I saw Jimmy, it was, you know, he didn't look different, and he was overwhelmed, and we just, he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it.
You couldn't beat Alcatraz, the beautiful view there.
So there was never a day you didn't see what the hell you were losing and what you were missing, you know. It was all there for you to see. There's life. There's everything I want in my life, and it's there. It's a mile or a mile and a half away, and yet I can't get to it.
Look at the city directly across from us.
San Francisco is only 1.25 miles from Alcatraz, and it's a combination of tides and temperature that makes that swim so treacherous.
I recall getting in that water, and it was like a shock. I didn't expect it to be that cold. If you can do it, it's up to you. But you got to pay the price.
Frank Morris and John and Clarence Anglin. This is the guys from Escape from Alcatraz, June 11th, 1962. I'm going to show you their cell that they actually stayed in.
Three times a day, all the men in general population gathered here for 20-minute meals. Imagine 200 plus men, each armed with a knife, fork, and spoon. This was potentially the most dangerous room in the cell house.
And if you notice up on the ceiling there, you see these canisters up there dotted around. It's tear gas. And we nicknamed the dining room the gas chamber. It so happened during the history of Alcatraz they never did trip the button. If they did trip it, they would have made a fatal mistake because them 2 guards in there and the lieutenant would never have gotten out of there alive.
Now walk to the barred area at the far end of the dining room. Behind it is the kitchen area. Notice the knife rack on the left. The shape of each knife was outlined on the rack. This way, officers could tell immediately if one was missing. Even so, some knives disappeared.
I think about 3-4 men got killed with kitchenware.
And I heard that old familiar pop slap, you know, and Chili had drove it into Sosa's back. It was just like an ice pick. He stuck it right in the back, and that was the pop slap I heard.
What's that? Outside.
Well, we always had psychiatrists here, but they were labeling people. They didn't actually die. And he graduated in 1933. There were no jobs. Wow. Depression. Right. Forced into the job.
There are babies up there.
We're just getting back to the car.
It's almost, what, 5 maybe?
5:14 p.m. Well, I believe that guy that told me that nobody really knows about this spot is right, because look, still hardly anybody here. So this is one of your parking options, $3 each 15 minutes, daily maximum of $60. Most of it is valet. Here's your other option, each half hour $7, a maximum of $40. You park yourself, that is not valet. So that's what we were talking about, and they're pretty full. That $20 parking that we got at Pier 27, Lot 81, really close to the Alcatraz Cruise and a short walking distance to Fisherman's Wharf, so $20 max for the whole day. Hardly anybody knows about it, and it's pretty secure. We're coming around the corner where the hurricane is. This is Jim. What was his name? Where did you go? Man, we had a widow wham. This is Jim Cantori, and we're trying to fight this hurricane. How are you standing up? That sure is a funny paint job they gave this place around here. All the white polka dots. Yeah. Oh. Wait. Oh, the birds have been painting. It's going. Hey Mary, what is this?
It's cold.
This way and go down and then around.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I was trying.
I said that.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you. But I didn't know if you heard me or not.
We have to go down and around.
Yeah.
Can't go that way.
Right, that's what I said. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you heard that. I do not believe we can get through down here.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
This might be the end of the tour.
Yeah, I was trying to tell you that.
What the hell?
I tried to tell you that too. I didn't. I was just kidding.
Well, maybe we could just look at it.
Yeah, let's look at it. That's what I was trying to tell you. Back there.
So what was this building here?
This is what I told you it was. It was,
oh, this
you know,
is all where the apartments were.
Yeah, where the apartments were. That's what I told you. But,
Ready for a bowl of clam chowder because it was cold today.
yeah, it was a little chilly, especially when you come around that one side of the building. Wind. I'm not quite sure what that even means. I don't want to know. We went to Forrest Gump and we have a view of Alcatraz. How appropriate is that?
Yeah.